All right. Good evening or early evening, everybody. I want to thank you guys for joining us for the El Toro Bowl press conference. It's an exciting time. Welcome to Central Lakes. We're so glad you're here, and want to say a big thank you to Holiday Inn Express for putting you guys up for the El Toro Bowl. It's a great event. It's a great time. Before we actually get to the players and coaches, I want to invite Jerry Smith up here. He's the athletic director at Arizona Western College, just to say a couple words about some of the great things that we've had here at the El Toro Bowl and the impact it has on the community.
Thanks, Sam. I just wanted to take this opportunity, to welcome Central Lakes. We've had a great experience with them so far. Visiting with their president, Dr. Larry Unblad. I think he's in here somewhere. There he is back there. That's their president. And with Greg, I've had quite a bit of conversation with Greg. But I want to take this opportunity, to say a special thanks, and I want you folks from Central Lakes to know that the Caballeros de Yuma is our partner in the El Toro Bowl. Their El Presidente is Ricky Reinhardt, is sitting in the back of the room. The bowl chair, Louis Gardias, will be here later tonight, and he'll be here throughout the process. He had a board meeting tonight and couldn't come, but we couldn't do this without the support of the Caballeros de Yuma, which is a group of 80 or 90 businessmen in town who spend countless hours with us in preparation for this 3 days of activity. So the Caballeros that's here, if you kind of raise your hand, let people see who you are. And Travis is here also. Travis is co-chair of the bowl, Travis Smith back there. So I want to say a special thanks to them. So they're a great resource for us in the Yuma community, not only for the bowl game, but for many other activities that go on in Yuma. Then I want to also take the opportunity to thank our title sponsor, which is Walmart and Sam's Club. Many people in communities think that maybe Walmart don't do enough in the community, but in our community in Yuma, we have 3 Walmart stores in Yuma itself and 1 in the South County, and they're so supportive of community events and especially educational community events. And I want to say a special thanks to those Walmart stores and to the Sam's Club that we have here. And then also to the hotel here. Paul Rogers is the general manager of this hotel, the hotel next door, and then the actual Holiday Inn, which is over on the hill across the pasture ways a little bit. But Paul has been extremely supportive. I also want to introduce Linda Morgan over in the corner over there. She is our Visitors Bureau. She's been very active in helping us plan and providing opportunities, and she's going to be hosting the ladies' luncheon tomorrow at the Crest. So it's a combination of a lot of different people in support of this activity that we're going to be doing today and tomorrow and Saturday, hopefully, and top it off with a great football game on Saturday afternoon. So I want to say thanks to all those people and our other sponsors that's involved. And as you look at the media guide that you'll be seeing at the game and being involved with people throughout the 3 days, you'll see the tremendous support we have from this community for this bowl to be successful and for us to bring people to Yuma to give you some of this good weather in December. So I want to say thanks again to Central Lakes for coming. Dr. Larry, Greg, we hope you have a great experience. We hope your parents and players have a great experience while you're here in Yuma, and I think you'll find this is a warm community, a welcoming community, and you'll find the Caballeros to be just at your disposal, whatever you need to make this a comfortable stay for you. So thank you so much. Now we'll get on with what's at hand, and that's the players and the coaches and the football game. Sam?
All right, so I'll go ahead and introduce everybody up here, and then the coaches can talk a little bit about the game. Then we'll open it up for questions. First, we'll start Central Lakes. They're on this side. Central Lakes College of Brainerd, they are 10-1, ranked number 11 in the country. They were as high as number 6 this year. Their head coach, he's also their defensive coordinator, is Greg Medeck. He's in his 8th season, has a 70-18 record overall. He's also joined by his quarterback, Jake Faber, and Josh Johnson. Those 2 guys are the leaders of the offense and the defense, respectively. Faber has more than 3,000 yards passing this year, is number 4 in the nation with 38 touchdown passes, and the offense scores more than 44 points a game. So he has been at the helm of that. And then Josh Johnson, he has the team lead, tied for the team lead with 97 tackles, and he also leads the team with 21.5 tackles for loss, tacked on 7.5 sacks as well. And this is a team that is very stout Against the run, they only give up 52.5 yards a game on the ground. And then on the Arizona Western side, we've got head coach Tom Minnick. They've got a 10-1 record. He's in his 7th season with us. 6 straight bowl appearances for Arizona Western College, and he's the first coach to go 11-1 while he's coached here. And he is the current reigning WSFL Coach of the Year in the conference, and he's also joined by Trent Hosick. Has about 1,100 yards passing, 570 yards rushing in his 6 starts. He's also scored 22 touchdowns, 11 through the air, 11 on the ground, including 6 in the conference championship game. Helped the offense score 52 points, and then leads the 7th-ranked rushing offense in the country. He's joined by safety Paul Magliore. He is the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He's also the first team All-WSFL. He finished 2nd on the team with 92 tackles, also adding in 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, 5.5 tackles for loss, 2 blocked kicks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He helped the Matador defense hold opponents to 18.2 points a game. So these are the guys up here. We'll start. I know Coach Greg, if you want to say, I know we've kind of talked a little bit earlier. We're so glad to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. And I want to thank you to not only Sam, but Jerry Smith, who's been great in this whole endeavor here. As Jerry said, this is really about the experience. And that's what kind of the foundation of what we're trying to do is provide the best experience we can for our student athletes on our campus. And we've had a tremendous year, 10-1 overall record. We think of the El Toro Bowl as one of the premier NJCAA opportunities, bowl games in the country, and we're excited to be here. Got fantastic weather. We're excited about that, and we really look forward to the matchup with Arizona Western College.
And Tom, I know you guys are ranked number 5, 10-1. You got a chance to go get win number 11.
Yep. I just want to say thanks to all of our Matador members, our sponsors, the title sponsor, Walmart and Sam's Club. Without you, this wouldn't happen. I appreciate that. Our football team is proud to be here, get an opportunity to play the 11th team in the nation, and have a chance to get that 11th win. And hopefully we play well on Saturday and achieve that goal. But we got a lot of work in front of us. Got a great football team. It's ranked 11th, 10-1. They're the best in Minnesota, and we're best in Arizona. So. It's Arizona against Minnesota, so it'll be a great game on Saturday, and we're excited to be there.
We'd like to go ahead and open it up for questions. Feel free, direct them to coaches, players.
Coach Minnick, what have you seen from Central Lakes on film? Last time I talked to you, hadn't watched anything on them a couple weeks ago. I'm sure you've been studying up.
Sam's kind of summed it up. Their offense is potent. They score a lot of points, and they got a great quarterback. It throws for a lot of yards, and we're going to have to contain him to have a chance.
Paul, talk about what you've seen from there. Obviously a high-profile passing attack. You guys have faced them this year with Scottsdale and stuff like that. So what have you seen from them?
Definitely a good quarterback and some good receivers, and they got a good offensive scheme. So I mean, Coach D, he put together a good scheme for this game like he does every game, and we just got to execute and come out there and play football.
Is there anything they do similar to any other passing attacks you guys have faced?
Yeah. I mean, one good thing about, our conference that we play in, got a lot of different teams that, run different things. So, I mean, they're kind of like a mixture of different teams. So, it's like, one team combined with different parts. So it's a good thing.
Fire away with those questions. Don't leave Central Lakes out, please don't.
I was just going to say, ask the coach over here about the same thing that he asked this coach.
Well, yeah, obviously in the Western States Football League, they play a very high-quality brand of football, and this is probably the premier team in that conference. They won the conference championship, and we saw some great things on film from them over the course of the last 4 games that we exchanged there. A potent offense that's very diverse, multiple can run the ball, throw the ball, and very, very stout defense as well too. So, we're going to hope to go out there and execute some of our game plan and put some points on the board and try to hold these guys off as much as we can.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching.
I know Coach Medeck.
Yes.
Medeck. So you guys, I know AWC from that perspective, they look forward to playing a team that's kind of outside their area. So just kind of talk about the competition that you guys faced in your conference, and if you kind of see this as a challenge to face up against another kind of top 10 team. So I think the highest ranked teams you guys have faced were kind of 17 or 13.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is a challenge. There's no doubt about that. This is, in my mind, is going to be the best football team that we face all year. And so we have a great deal of respect for the Western States Football League and Arizona Western College and their program, and it'll present a great challenge for us. We look forward to that. It's nice to get outside of conference play. It's nice to see kind of how conferences stack up around the country. We don't get a lot of interconference play. With the 12-game mandate of the NJCAA, we're pretty booked. And we like playing in conference. We like all the conference rivalries that we've developed. And we like the fact that we've been able to have a conference championship game each and every year. But it is a unique and special experience to get out and play in a bowl game that is sponsored by the NJCAA and see what competition outside of our region is like. So we're looking forward to that.
How do you feel your region is kind of viewed nationally? Do you feel like this is kind of a chance to prove your guys' conference?
We don't come down here looking to prove anything. We come down here for hopefully it's an exceptional experience and a reward for our players and their hard work throughout the course of the year to play a 12th game. We'll see how things stack up. I'm proud of the fact that the Minnesota College Athletic Conference has 3 teams playing in bowl games this year. And with only 7 bowl games, I think that's a pretty good feather in the cap of the MCAC, is that we've got some great representation. We'll see how things shake out with those games and the Graphic Edge Bowl, both the doubleheader there and the Toro Bowl. But we're just happy for the experience right now and excited to play a 12th game.
Josh, what worries you most about AWC's offense? They have a lot of weapons, obviously on the ground and Trent, quarterback.
Yeah, they have a very good offense. They're well coached. Quarterback's good throwing the ball, and he's good with his feet. We just got to contain him. It's going to come down to us just executing on defense and making plays when we can.
What's the weather been like for you guys?
We had actually had a nice fall season in Minnesota for football. It culminated in our conference championship game on the 8th of November with about a 30-degree day. It wasn't too bad. The following day, on the 9th, though, we got about a foot of snow that dropped down, and that presented some challenges for preparation for the bowl game. And so we've been working indoors quite a bit recently just to try to get our preparation in. It's a little bit of a burden, but one that's well worth enduring for the opportunity to come and play in this venue.
This is for the AWC coach. Do you view this as an opportunity for redemption after last year's Toro Bowl, or is this a new season, new opportunity?
Well, you want to say that, we kind of had the rug pulled out from underneath us last year with everything that happened. I know our guys are looking forward because we didn't play very well at the end of the season last year. I think we lost the last 4 and then lost to a team that we beat by 20-some in the regular season. And we played them in the bowl game and they beat us. So our kids they weren't ready to play for that bowl game, and when the NJCA took those wins away from us, they kind of gave up, and it was tough to keep them all in check and to get them out there and play because they were so upset by what happened. And I think at that time we were 6th in the nation at that time, and to have that happen to a team, it was very upsetting to the coaches and the players, and it's hard to get them all rallied together and to show up and play. And they didn't play very well, and that kind of hurt us. And to tell you the truth, we really didn't want to play in the bowl game last year. That's the fact is that's what it was. But they're ready to play. Our kids see that as our redemption basically, because we didn't show up ready to play last year in the bowl game, and it was because of that. Was it our fault? No, it wasn't our kids' fault, and they were hurt by it.
For the players, what do you see as the biggest challenges for the other team? So, for instance, quarterback, what do you see as the biggest challenges on their defense? Let's discuss that just a bit.
Well, they have a really fast defense, as we've seen on film. I don't know, they present themselves pretty well. They have great corners and D-backs, and their line gets pretty good rush every time. But Trusting my O-line. They haven't gave up very many sacks all year, and our wide receivers are pretty talented, so I think it should be a good fight.
You guys wanna-
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're just, as a player, it's our job to take the game plan that our coaches give us and do what we can to go and execute. And so for Central Lakes, I mean, they're an extremely well-coached defense. They've got some talented guys on the defensive line. They've got some talented guys in the defensive backfield. I mean, they've just got a talented defense. So I think our game plan is solid, and it's just our job to go out and execute. But yeah, they're a very well-coached defense.
How's the motivation been in practice? I know I was talking to Coach Minnick a couple weeks ago. He was saying he felt you guys were going to be amped up and ready to go because you guys want that whole ring to go along with your conference championship ring. So how important is that?
Well, I mean, obviously the ring is kind of an added perk, but that's, the ring isn't the focus. It's just we try to focus on being excellent in every area of our lives. And even coming off of a big win of the WSFL championship, that was, it's easy to let that kind of become the peak of your season. And so what's been great is our coaches have kind of kept us in check, and what's great is we've got great leadership on our team that's kind of keeping everybody excited about this game. Central Lakes is a great team, and we know we've got to play our very best to win. So we're looking forward to a good game this weekend.
You talk about, you talk about the difference between last year's team and this year's team. It has been the leadership. The sophomores that we have here that played last year for us, and also, like both these guys are both transfer kids that transferred in, and just been great leaders for our team, and can't thank them enough because they've done an excellent job putting us in the situation we are now with, being 10-1, having a chance to go 11-1, and having a chance to win the bowl game and be in the top 5 in the nation, top 4 actually if we can pull out the win. But it's all about the leadership of our team, and that's what's got us here. And it's proven throughout the season. We started off pretty well first 2 games, and we had to let down. I truly believe, if we're smart enough, probably we had Trent playing that snow game, but we just felt he wasn't ready yet when he transferred in. So, but I think we could have beat Snow that time and been sitting there in the top 4 undefeated, but it just didn't happen that way. But our kids kind of were up and down through the middle of the season and weren't playing very well. Had a couple overtime wins that we snuck out. But I feel the last 2 ball games, our playoff games, we could beat anybody in the nation. The last 2 ball games. But it's been a long layoff, and that always hurts. I mean, we've had a couple practices, the week after, a couple practices after that, and we finally got back to it on Monday. So we've really taken 3 weeks basically off because they weren't great practices. They were, right before Thanksgiving, practicing an hour here. We've had kids fly to Georgia. We got one committed to Georgia, one going to Arizona, one going to Arizona State. One kid went to the Louisville, Florida State game. I mean, we've got 10 kids with BCS rides already, and they're flying all over across the nation. And it's hard to have practices on a Thursday and a Friday when you got kids getting scholarships and getting looked at. So it's hard for us to maintain that, right after the season, working up to this bowl game. So we finally got them all back on Monday and been having some okay practices this week, but it's tough because our kids. The thing, when I took this job over, was to be able to get my kids re-recruited and to go to BCS programs. And you hear me say this tomorrow night. And since I've been here 6 years, we've had over 50 kids sign BCS football scholarships, and we got them at Oklahoma, USC, Alabama. We got them all over the country, and that's what our programs prides itself on. When I can get up on Saturday morning out here, not in the Midwest, but out here, I can watch them on TV before we even start anything or walk through or anything. I can watch them on TV. So, and that's what we pride ourselves on. These guys are looking forward. They're anxious. School's out next week. They're anxious to get on with their 4-year career here. Trent getting recruited by SEC schools and some other schools, and Paul's already committed to Arizona. That's what we're here about. And all of our kids are graduating. And that's another thing I'm proud of. And our kids graduate from here. They do great academically with Coach Dominguez. And I'll brag on my wife that's sitting right here, that she does a great job in the tutoring center helping our kids with whatever they need, getting them help by teachers or by tutors or whatever, getting them so they can get out and move on to the four-year schools. And then that's what I'm really proud about. Not so much the wins or anything like that, but seeing my kids play on Saturday and even on Sundays in some cases.
Along those lines, Trent just reopened up his recruitment officially this week. So do you have kind of a message out there for coaches who might be looking at him? I know I've seen you tweet some stuff about him being one of the top-rated JUCO quarterbacks. So what's your thoughts on him?
My opinion, he's the best in junior college football. Both. I mean, he could throw, he can run. The key is with Trent, he's a winner. He's a winner. I was just talking to a recruiter on the way here. This kid's a winner. That's all needs to be said. That's what he is. And he's a great kid, great football player, and a great kid. Paul's the same way. That's why they're both sitting up here right now. Both great kids, both great football players.
Paul, I saw you tweet something about, I think you tweeted that one of the Bear Down accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Available right now for you guys. So you have pretty high
Oh, yeah.
for him as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing to see another guy on another team and that'd be pretty good. But when you play with somebody, you're like, dang, he's good person. Why wouldn't you want to bring him with you and win a championship somewhere else? So of course I'm gonna try to get him to come with me. So it's always a good thing.
Coach, I have a question for you. How have you prepared the last few weeks with Thanksgiving and the rest of your season?
Yeah, there are those challenges there. Unfortunately, our season ended with our first loss of the year, and so we had to overcome that challenge as well too. We were fortunate enough to accept the opportunity to come play in the Toro Bowl, and that was a great deal of motivation for our guys to get back into preparation mode. And we had a solid week of practice initially, and then the holidays came into play and kind of broke things up a little bit. And so he dealt with that. We took some time, extended time for guys to go back and visit their families. So many of our student athletes are very, very local. We have a high representation in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and the ability to travel to their homes and their families and see those important people in their lives is something that we value and think is key. And so we were able to take some time off and regroup really this week, and got a couple practices in this week before we departed yesterday for the trip. But it's our biggest hurdle was probably just the facility usage and the weather and everything else that came with that. But our guys are motivated and they're ready to work.
Do you see weather affecting your guys at all, or do you think you're prepared for it enough?
We're certainly not acclimated to the heat right now. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it shouldn't have too much of an adverse effect on us, but we'll maybe play more guys. I don't know. We'll see. Anytime these guys want to come up and play in Minnesota, we're welcome to host them.
I'm graduating in December, so.
It's hard to sell that ice and cold weather over there.
We could get shovels. We could shovel the field.
They're talking about 30-degree weather being a good day. I think they'd shut this whole town down if it was 30 degrees.
I remember when I first got out here, I was like, I could get used to this. It's January and everybody else is like freezing everywhere else. And it's nice, good weather. So.
115 degrees, and it gets down to 100, and we're wearing sweats. So you get acclimated to the heat. It's definitely a different ball game.
Is it going to be easier to throw the ball in this kind of weather, you think? I mean, have you dealt with much conditions this year?
It rained one game. That was about one of the only conditions we had to deal with. I mean, when it's colder, your hands don't function as well, so it should be a lot better in the warmness, I should say. But I don't know. Your hands get dry in the cold, and I don't know. I don't think it should affect anything too much.
We just want to say thank you so much for coming. It's been We're excited. It's been a great experience so far. It's going to be a great bowl game Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And by the way, I saw somebody tweeted at us earlier in the day. The weather is supposed to be pristine, about 75 degrees right around kickoff. So hopefully that.
So
hopefully that
wear a
sounds right.
sweatshirt.
Oh, and sunny, fairly blue skies.
I have my sweats on.
Thank you everybody for coming, and we look forward to seeing you at the game.